Oh, this is nice. Nine already.
Yeah, I'm worried about how small the pictures are going to get if anybody else shows up.
I'm not sure how
We
many.
have pages. I was in one and there were many pages and you could move back and forth.
That's
pages.
right. There you go.
Ah, somebody's dialed in. That's interesting.
It's exciting.
It's Judy.
Oh,
You're
Judy.
doubled, Judy. You're twice.
Hello. I'm on the road. I'm on the road, so I don't have video.
Oh, Judy! It's you!
That's amazing.
I'm cruising down the North Dakota highway, so I'll be with you for just a little bit, and hope that's okay.
That's phenomenal.
Oh, it's lovely.
Thank you.
This is a bit bright. Maybe I should turn it out. Is that better?
Beautiful.
I'm just going to give it another couple of minutes to see if we get any more popping in. We could, just while we're waiting, we could just find out where everybody is based. Joanne, where did you say you were based?
I'm in Wisconsin, near the capital, Madison.
Excellent.
I'm close by in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
I'm in Lake Havasu City, Arizona.
And I'm in Cork in Ireland.
Lovely.
Argentina, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Finishing the G20.
Huh?
I don't know if you heard about that.
Uh-huh.
I'm in London, England.
I'm in sunny Norfolk.
It's dark. It gets dark at like 3 o'clock.
Here somebody's coming.
It feels like late night.
I'm sorry, Marian. You have to come and visit me.
Yeah, I will. That'd be amazing. It's just.
This is Judy, and I'm in North Dakota, USA.
Hey. Maya. Yippee.
Who else is here? I have to keep moving my screen.
Maya, how wonderful to see you.
Hello.
Hi, Maya.
Hello. That's great.
We are saying where we're coming from, Maya.
You're what?
We are saying where we are coming from, where we are in.
Oh yeah.
Where are you?
Hi, Andrea. Oh, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey.
Hot Atlanta.
Yeah, hot Nana. For many reasons. Yeah.
Hi, Eve.
Hello, Eve.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Hi, Eve.
Yes.
Well,
Eve, where are you located?
greetings from Toulouse, in France.
Hey.
Lovely.
Southern France, yes. Nice to be here with all of you.
Nice to be with you.
Maya looks like a model. Sorry. I was like, poof, it's so stunning.
Hi, Marianne.
Hello.
Has anybody not said where they're from? I'm from Southern California. Where's Sandra? Sandra?
Here.
Sandra, where are you from? Where are you living?
Cork in Ireland.
Lovely. Neat. And Joanne, where I missed if you told already, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm near Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, nice.
Where's Wisconsin? Is it in the middle or the bottom or the top or the side?
Kansas, yeah, close to Canada.
Middle top.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Marianne, she's over by me, Marianne.
Okay.
She's just Minnesota is between where she is and I am.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Kate, I don't remember where you are because last time you were traveling and you were in Arizona. And so I set you at Arizona, but I know that's not the appropriate setting. You're muted.
Are you asking?
Canada, and I'm Canadian, and I live in Slave Lake, Alberta.
Ooh.
In northern Alberta, but I'm in Arizona right now, and will be for a few months in Lake Havasu City.
Oh, so I should stick with Arizona as Kate's.
Stick with Arizona. That's right.
Kate's at currently. Well, you're probably really happy not to be in northern Alberta right now.
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
So is Andrea the most south of anyone?
I think I'm the only one in summer. Getting to summer. You're all entering the winter. I am entering the summer. But it's cool. Today is quite cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Andrea, where?
I don't like the summer. I'm in Argentina.
Andrea,
South America. Argentina, South America. It's
but is there a winter there?
no. It's spring is finishing. Actually, I am 5 blocks away from where the G20 has just finished. The meeting of the presidents of the, I don't know if you heard about it. Here was a big deal because we couldn't have a work. We couldn't use the car. It was kind of, we couldn't leave our houses. It was complicated.
Wow.
Because of security.
We should have met to beam good vibes. We could always do it retrospectively. We could do it retrospectively. Time doesn't matter.
There was a mild earthquake, and this is not an area of earthquakes. And they say it's the energy of all these big presidents coming in.
Wow.
We never
my
have
God.
earthquakes here in the city. So probably the energy shook something.
The earth shook. Oh wow.
Okay, I'm gonna call this gathering to order. I think we'll have everybody who we're probably going to have with us. So welcome everyone. It's so lovely to have you all here. Some new faces and some familiar faces, and that's really nice. And I've just done something unexpected with my screen. I'm going to have to sort of... Oh, there you go. So as everybody knows now, I'm Jan Brightwood, and I'm delighted you're here for this first Open Synergy event. I think everybody here is actually a member of Synergy, but what we'll do is we'll record this show and we'll make it available on the website as a kind of showcase for the kind of thing that people can experience on a huddle. So I'm going to encourage you now to select gallery view if you haven't already, because it's just so nice to see everyone, and it creates more of a sense of us being here all together in a virtual room. So if at the moment, unless you're on your phone, I don't think you can do that, but if you can just see one person at a time, then somewhere up in the top right-hand corner, there's a place where you can click on gallery view, and then you get to see everyone at once, which is just really nice. We've got a few more people on this huddle than usual. Usually we just sort of wave our hands when we want to say something, but I think today, if you have a question or you want to add a comment, can you put it in the chat as we go, and then we'll circle back round to you can be chatting away in the chat as we talk. And so we've been enjoying ourselves on the weekly Synergy Huddles for more than 4 months now. Can you believe that? And yay, we're allowing features to emerge to serve members' needs. as those needs become apparent. It's highly experimental and responsive. It's all happening in a nice kind of feminine flow, allowing rather than controlling kind of a way. You might say that Synergy is very much a feminine powered project. Although the membership is not restricted to women, they're very much in the majority so far. And our purpose today is to give a taste of what's been emerging inside of our weekly huddles and to introduce Synergy to more people. So just to give an outline of what we're going to cover today, we'll begin with a short meditation to bring us together and settle us in. Then we'll do a spotlight interview and discussion. We usually focus on one of our members, but today we'll be focusing on Synergy itself. Then we'll recreate the heart seat. And the heart seat is where a member can share a problem or a challenge and receive the collective wisdom and support of the others about it. We've had some beautiful encounters with the heart seat. It's an open and intuitive process, which often leads in unexpected directions. It's always heartfelt and a safe place to explore, where we don't try to persuade. Our ideas are offered lightly from the heart, like lilies floating across a pond. So I'll be inviting someone new to experience this. If you have a conundrum or a decision you're finding tricky and you're open to suggestions for how to resolve it, then please post in the chat that you'd like to be in the heart seat. That's probably going to be in about half an hour's time, or maybe 45 minutes time, depending on how much we talk about Synergy. And then if there's time after that and people would like to try it, we can create a group intention together. That's something we haven't done on the huddles, but we have done in a Power of 8 group, and that's been really amazing as well. Something amazing to experience. So that's what we're going to do today, and I can now, if Leela is happy, I can hand over to Leela to lead us in a group meditation.
Yeah, that's lovely, and I'm happy to. I'm really happy to kind of actualize this field that we're creating naturally, that we're here as a part of a resonant field. And so if we can really touch into that and anchor into that by taking a couple of deep breaths, breathing down into our hips, into our legs, and down into the earth. And knowing that the earth is absolutely aware of where each one of us sits and is holding us gently and connecting us directly through her incredible field that she creates, through which we can have all of these experiences. So breathing deeply into that recognition that we are part of the earth and the earth is part of us. And now connecting into our heart, the place that heaven and earth meet and where we meet each other in these huddles. And feeling the connection between the earth and our heart. And also feeling into our third eye and our connection with the heavens and all of the energetic fields that, in case in point, have us connected here on Zoom. Also a big part of this enormous field that we are in and we are contributing to. And from that place of connection with heaven, with earth, with ourselves, and with each other, let us begin. So I'm kind of excited because I get to interview Jan today about Synergy itself, which I treasure personally. And I know that everyone that meets on the calls, which is also such a nice thing, is there's never any pressure to be on the calls, but every time anyone shows up, I'm so happy to see them. And that's pretty exciting. So Jan, are you ready to be interviewed? Yes. Yeah, I was just waiting for that mute line to come off.
Just
so
say hello to Marianne because she's joined us. Hi, Marianne. Lovely to see you.
Hello, Marianne.
Sorry.
No, of course. I haven't met Marianne yet, so I'm very happy to meet Marianne today. So, my dear, can you tell us how Synergy started?
Well, Synergy didn't even exist as an idea, not in my head anyway, until this summer. And we now have 97 members. Somebody joined today, which is just lovely. And we've had 18 weekly huddles. We've created 4 spotlights on different members to help them showcase their offerings. And I'm gonna come to the sort of story of how it all started. I think there's a reason it's been received with enthusiasm, is because it speaks to a growing yearning shared by those of us who've been working hard. We've been working hard to evolve ourselves and create transformational programs and retreats and community projects and write books and all that other wonderful stuff. But we've largely been on our own, many of us. And I think it's beautifully summed up in this quote from Teilhard de Chardin, which we shared on Facebook and has had a lot of comments and likes. So it's striking a chord, I think. There is almost a sensual longing for communion with others who have a large vision, the immense fulfillment of the friendship between those engaged in furthering the evolution of consciousness has a quality impossible to describe. And it just feels magical, that quote. So Synergy emerged from a zigzag path, just as Claire Zammit describes it in her Feminine Power teachings. And I couldn't have foreseen it a year ago, but looking back now, it's clear that one thing led to another perfectly. Leela and I are enjoying our friendiversary. We met on the Feminine Power 7-week course and became power partners a year ago. We've had weekly meetings ever since, and we're loving the magic that has come from our connection. It's just been amazing. So that was the first step of not doing it alone. And then at the beginning of the year, I enrolled on the Influencers Masterclass, which many of us are also on one way or another. And because of the work I'd done in Feminine Power and Leela's support and encouragement, I gained enough courage to post about a vision I had actually many years ago for a completely different idea. And I posted about that in the Influencers Facebook group. And that visibility and the raw, unfinished, from the heart vision that I laid out there led to other influencers reaching out to connect with me. And that was revelatory for me to have people saying, that sounds amazing, and let's talk about it. And around about the same time, some of us on that course began to meet up in London. And those were really uplifting and heartwarming and inspirational meetings, and very beautiful friendships have come out of that. Has anyone else felt that when at last you're speaking the same language with people? You can talk about ideas for big heart-centered transformative projects without people looking at you like you're nuts. And you don't have to explain where you're coming from, because we're coming from the same place. So it really felt like we'd kind of come home to each other. on the influencers course, Claire and Jean were encouraging us all to connect and collaborate. And I suddenly saw how useful a directory website could be to help us all stay in touch. I've worked quite a lot on websites over the last few years, so it was something that occurred to me that I could actually do. I had a competency for it. And Claire and Jean were also urging radical generosity, so I offered to create a directory for the people on that course as my big give. And when I posted about that in the Facebook group, I got a flood of enthusiastic responses. So there were more than 50 likes and more than 70 comments, with the post kind of bobbing around at the top of the group for at least a couple of weeks, I think. So I had to do it. And at first, I thought it would just be a directory, so people in the field of transformation would be able to find each other by location or by type of project that they're working on. But it seems to be evolving really rapidly.
It does.
Yes.
It feels really great to have it evolving really rapidly, because a directory, which I remember when you first put it out, I thought was a fantastic idea. For example, one of the things that I have been wanting to do, I've been, able to find Julia Schneider and get involved in her women's circle, and it has been just remarkable. And so that directory, I absolutely saw the value of. But how did it then switch into more than a directory?
I think it was when we started having the huddle. Which was your idea, Leela? Like you were saying, you were saying, let's just get started and have a regular meeting and just see, just do something, give people a chance to get together and see what comes out of it. And when we started, I imagined that the Synergy Huddle would be very much focused on synergy and what the members might want out of it. And we did that for about 3 weeks, didn't we? And then we had a spotlight. And then I think the week after that, what emerged was this Heartlight, which was the chance for people to bring a problem and get some really heart-centered guidance from whoever happened to turn up on the huddle. And so, and other ideas are coming out now about sharing skills and resources. And it just is showing when I was using the word collaboration, so I was saying synergy is for visibility, connection, and collaboration for transformational world changes. And I was using this word collaboration. And I thought people would get together and do projects together and stuff like that. And that may still happen. But what's happened on the huddle is a different sort of collaboration where it's right there in the moment. What's around, what do people need help with? And here's some heartfelt suggestions from a really interestingly varied group of people.
But we have this connection that runs through all of the people who are joining, and it's about transformation. It's about evolving individually and for the betterment of all. And that seems to be the shared agreement that everybody at Synergy is investing in, of not completely personally centered activity, but group centered activity, like group contribution as well as personal growth. And I think that the huddles really facilitate that in a way that starts to develop community out of directory. Yes. So directory has a value and community has that value. And I think a lot of us scattered all around the world really seek community and don't have a lot of in real life, real time opportunities. And that dynamic, I never imagined that a virtual community could be as connective and immediate and productive from an emotional point of view, as I have found the Synergy Huddles to be. And as you just described, that was evolutionary. That wasn't intentionally necessarily by design. That was just the way things are going. And how do you see with the input that we've gotten thus far, and I think today's going to be more, but how do you see that next step of community? You started to talk about some other ideas that have been floated.
Well, yeah, we've had the ideas of skill sharing, and also so people can hold a kind of class on things that they know about that they're willing to share with others. And just the other day on the Wednesday huddle, we came up with this great idea of sharing transformational tools with each other that we enjoyed or found really effective or whatever. And so we're going to call it the tool shed. We're going to have a tool shed where we can share tools, and I've already started thinking about how that will work on the website. I personally would like to see things happening between members that don't even need to involve me. So
you're pretty busy. I get that. No, you're good.
I love everything I'm doing for Synergy, and it can be so much more for the members when people take action just to contact each other. And there are facilities on the website like events, so any member can post an event and invite others to come to a Zoom gathering or whatever, for whatever purpose. And that doesn't need to come through any kind of central organizing body for that.
Right. That's where I found Julia's women's circle, and that. So the nuts and bolts of it too is we each, as a member of Synergy, have a profile that describes who we are and where we are and what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And on that profile page, other people have the opportunity to, it's like, contact this member, right? So we can directly do stuff there, but then we can also go into, so in addition to our profile, which is the kind of centerpiece of our presence in the directory, mm-hmm. The spotlights that you have, or the upcoming events that you have, we can do anything. We can do events just for Synergy members. We can do events that are larger, that we're just inviting Synergy members to come and join this larger bit. There are a lot of different offerings there. And I think that's kind of like the, almost like the commercials that allow people that would drive more people to that profile to find out more about the individual.
Yes. And so we also have a similar thing called offerings, where people can post about books they've written or programs they're running, that kind of thing. And in the same way that Leela just described the events, that if somebody's clicked on an offering, they then can see the profile of the member next to it and click through to find out more information.
And I want to read all the books you guys have written. So please post your books, make your stuff. I'm so interested in what this community and what the individuals who are making it up have done, because obviously we all have this coming from Claire Zammit and Jean Houston and some pretty evocative and transformational thinkers that I'm certain that the gem. So don't be shy about posting your work, because we really want to see it and want to contribute to the field that we're all creating, right?
Yes, indeed. I would love to hear from some of the people who've been on huddles already, just to say, what that experience has been like for you.
Other than me, who already talks too much. So, Andrea.
May I?
Yes, please.
Well, for me, the being in the spotlight was great because it helped me to clarify and refine what I'm doing. I help people to design their online courses. And with Lila's interview, for me was a great help to clarify and to see how this could be offered for everybody. And now I am listening to you and I'm getting new ideas. So this is something that is created by talking, by interacting, and it's like with the words of the other, I start to build up something that there was there, but it hadn't been worded yet. So I think it's amazing. I encourage people to be in the spotlight. It's an interesting personal process, and I think it's a good process for the others too.
I think so too, Andrea. And I think that that process of being together, it's kind of like we have all of this knowledge and we have all of these wonderful ideas, and being able to express it in community and where it's public but not public, like there's this very magical workshop space that these huddles, I think, provide. I found that.
And I don't know if it happens to me because everything is far away from where I am, but opening to the world makes it unlimited. When you talk to your friends, they are close and they are very much aware of their limitations, and they are why it's not going to happen. And in this huddle of synergy, there is some kind of energy that makes it possible. And it's like you start to pull from a thread and it's not unstoppable. You find the end of the thread and you start pulling from it. It's possible, and you see it possible. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you talk, I don't know, with my sister, with my friends, I say, no, but how are you going to do it? It's impossible. There's no way. Here, I never received that answer. Actually, exactly the opposite.
Wow, that's beautiful and really powerful. Thank you.
We are all about possibility.
Yeah.
There is no question.
Kate, were you waving?
Yeah, I could say something. I totally agree with everything Andrea was saying. And just to maybe explore that a bit, I think I've been on different types of huddles, not everyone, but I love to join when I can. And I think they sort of fall into two categories that I've heard so far, and maybe there's others. There's the one where Leah is interviewing, and that was one of my first ones, and I think she just is brilliant at that. And I just love, I think the first one was with Julia. And so I just find it, when you have an interviewer, it pulls the questions out and it sort of, it manages it a bit or contains it, or you have a wonderful way of just not pushing, but just exploring maybe what the options are, and then everyone else can kind of chime in. And so I love that piece, that we have someone that loves interviewing and people that are willing to step up and be interviewed. And then the other piece was, I was on Marianne's presentation on financial, feminine financial, I'll just call it. And that was really interesting because it was her presenting and taking a risk with everyone of a project that, or a content that she was trying to kind of clarify and explore. And I found that fascinating because on both formats, I just learned a lot. And it inspired me in ways that I could build on some things that I'm working on. You know, and the third thing I'd just like to mention is I'm often not afraid to talk on Zoom, but when I'm with the feminine power piece, I haven't necessarily always enjoyed it unless I've been in a pod, then I'm fine. But I find with this group, I'm not like that at all. So that was really interesting for me to feel that level of comfort so quickly and really know nobody in this group. I don't know what that's about, but so I'll just leave it there.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
I can chat if it's,
Yes.
Okay. So I don't remember whether I was in the heart seat or the spot. I don't know exactly what it was, Jan, but it was terrific.
You were in the heart light.
Okay, I was in the heart light. I just can't remember. But anyway, it was fabulous. What it was for me was an opportunity to share a signature talk that I had created, something that scares me to actually present that. And so this was just the safe container to be able to do that and kind of float it out there and get some feedback and input. And the most wonderful part of it is this incredibly safe and nurturing environment in which you can take risks. And you know, and so that alone to me is really valuable. And so I just got a lot out of that session. So
that's beautiful. Thank you, Liz.
Sure.
That heart seat really is such a special spot for the person in it, but for the contributors, because we all really want to contribute something to the people, especially people we know are doing something, you know, in the transformational world, in this broader context that we've all kind of committed to, else we wouldn't be here. And so while I think it is awesome to be in that, see, we need you, Jan, because you're the one that knows the names for everything. So like, until we're fully trained, I don't know that we can go off just with each other, but it's an awesome opportunity to kind of practice and get feedback, but it's an even more awesome opportunity to hold space and listen and give feedback, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree. It feels like a really lovely contribution to make to somebody else's process like that.
Yeah.
Leila?
Yes.
Hi. One of the things that I found very interesting was a thread that Jan started on taking the ick out of marketing. And I know it has, you know, it's bogged down a little bit, and that's okay, because I think we're giving thought to it as we, you know, try new things and as we explore new areas. And so I want to encourage Jan and all of us really to put out there things like that maybe haven't found their time yet, but at least initially get that bud out there so that it could be nourished and grown into things that will help us all as we, you know, move forward and do the transformational work we've been called to do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Beautiful.
But I think too, part of it, why there's such an ick in marketing, is because marketing is absolutely asking you to look outside of yourself for something that you know, need. And I think all of us are asking people to look inside themselves, and kind of, it's a grounding, it's kind of a directionally different thing. But at the same time, we need to let people know, and we need to be able to communicate these things. So I think that taking the ick out of marketing, taking a different approach, is a huge opportunity that we're all kind of naturally a part of, because we all have something to offer, but none of us want to, from anything I've seen, none of us want to get as many people as we can just so we can get as many people. We want to participate we want to make as much connection and as much transformation as we can. We don't want somebody to sign up and pay us and never show up. That's not sad. Marketers love that. Sorry, I shouldn't have said. There is a whole stream of things that's the objective. Just get as many people to sign up as you can, and this has really been make a difference as much as you can. But I think we're all going to learn how to merge that through this process.
Yeah, I can see that group getting a little bit more traction in the new year, I think, where we'll, you know, feed more ideas into it. And there's another group, we're going to have a focus group on groups. And how we might best support members to create groups and, you know, run them without us actually having to do all of it. Because obviously the more here I go again. The more that members do for themselves, the more that the more flowers and fruits that can come out of Synergy.
I'm going to start a group.
Are
I'm just making it. I shouldn't make an announcement on it. Yeah, no, I have actually a list of groups that I want. Like, I'm trying to figure out how many hours a week I really want to do this, because the intensity of the sharing and the fact that everyone here has done a lot of work. You know, people aren't asking questions that suggest that this is their first time out of kind of a mainstream thought process. Everyone here everyone I've engaged with has had that level. So there are just so many aspects of, I'd love to do one with spirituality and transformation. I'd love to do one that's like a mini Toastmasters. Like, yes, this is really just for you to come and say your stuff and get some positive feedback for the next team. I think the possibilities are endless for, and it's one of those things that if somebody starts a group simply because they want to do that and gets people on a call, when they're complete with it, that group could very possibly go on without them. Like, it's not something that you sign up for forever.
Yeah.
And I think it's partially because we've experienced the power of small groups. Like Kate was saying, you go from the massive online thing into a pod, it's an entirely different experience. You're able to receive the information in a different way. It all becomes... So my vision for 2019 with Synergy is groups.
Right.
What's your favorite vision, Jan, for 2019 for Synergy?
Well, I must say I like the idea of groups as well, because the difference that this has made to me is huge. And I would love other people to feel that, experience that. I've gone from a near hermit, you know, a year ago, to someone who feels really well connected with, you know, so many amazing people. And that's what can happen through this. I love the online space. You know, I love the fact that I only have to get dressed from the waist up, you know, to come out to meetings. And it doesn't matter if I had garlic prawns for lunch, you know. It's great. So I do like that. I think there are other things like that I'll get technical on the website and produce in some other features, but they're not, you know, they're only going to be exciting when they're finished and I can present them with a how-to video. They're not going to be exciting with me trying to describe how, you know, how it might work right now. But there are things like that I do have in mind, quite a long list.
Of course. Maya, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm really excited to be a part of Synergy. And this is my first, I joined maybe a month or 2 months ago, but this is my first huddle. I haven't even really been active on the platform yet, but that's just yet. I'm really excited as well about the potential for groups. I think that's really where the spark is, and definitely it feels to me like once that's gotten some more traction in that area, you're taking it to where people can start to create groups of their own resonance and find other people that resonate with it, and just continue the synergy from there. I think that some of the other features then can then have a stronger root when they're launched, because then things are more kind of compact. There's a deeper root in the whole group. But anyway, I actually wanted to ask, is it called Synergy or Field of Synergy?
Well, the web address is Field of Synergy, and
the what?
The website address is fieldofsynergy.com, and I think to distinguish it from other things. Synergy is a word that's used out there. When we want to be specific and distinguish it, we can call it field of synergy, but I just like calling it synergy. Generally, when we're talking about it, I just call it synergy. And I like the fact that synergy means what we're creating, as well as a name for, a name for the website, a name for the gathering place or whatever, but it's also what we create as we go. And I really like that.
Okay. Because I also, obviously I see both, and I also really resonate with field of synergy. I feel like it has when field and synergy come together, it has a very activating sort of quality to it. So anyway, yeah, at least now I know.
I like that. Thank you, Maya. I'll make more use of the full phrase then, because I also like talking about, when we feed ideas and energy into the field, then it's the field, and it's also our field of synergy.
Right. That's true. Okay, thank you.
I love the field piece. In part because a year ago, I felt like I had all these great ideas and I had all of this love that I wanted to share with the world, and I really didn't feel like I had a conduit for that. And here it's like, I'm not that support. Things are hard on your own, and things are so much less hard in a synergetic field, in a field of resonance. And now I don't even care about me and what I have to say. Like, I'm so interested in what we are doing that what I am doing personally has become secondary, because this is just so interesting, and there's so much togetherness. I haven't had a lot of togetherness. I'm so happy for togetherness. But no pressure, right? You come when you can. Nobody's like, hey, where were you last week? Nobody, ever. It's like, hey, how wonderful that you had the time today. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
As we finish up with the interview piece, I think that the last thing because I think, wait, did we lose Maya? No, Maya just shifted on my screen. Before Maya goes in the heart seat, I'm interested in if anybody who's listening has something that they are really hoping for from Synergy in the next year, or something that they feel would be the contribution, or even what's the curiosity that made you come today, that like, what was the optimal payoff that you were hoping we might say that we can provide or do for you? Anybody? Everybody's happy as a clam.
I just showed up because I figured it was time I got my butt in gear.
Welcome. Great idea.
I love that, Joanne.
And I got some of my personal problems resolved. So no, we just had major flooding here in August, and I was dealing with some serious drainage problems, and I just got a temporary fix for the winter done the day before Thanksgiving. So it's like, okay, now I can turn into this and get my profile done and whatever. So that's why I'm here. I got to get started.
Well, we're happy to support you, because that is a lot of work. You need some rest and like clarity for that you don't have to worry about that for the winter. Wow.
We had 15 inches of rain in one day.
Wow.
Goodness.
I have to say, me too. I need to get myself together. I'm procrastinating about always getting started. So that's why I turned up today too.
Oh, we're so happy you're here.
Thank you.
Oh.
No, what do you do, Sandra? I'm sorry.
I am a coach, a consultant. Bob Proctor, have you ever heard of him? Yeah.
Bob?
Well, he has
Sorry.
he trains coaches at Proctor Gallagher Institute. And yeah, I'm a consultant with them, but I just started getting started.
That'll be exciting. Marianne, what were you going to charm us with?
Who knows? No,
Right?
I came because I can't make the Wednesday ones most of the time. So I was just so excited because I was like, yay, a huddle I can come to. But occasionally I can come on a Wednesday. That I also wondered, it's nice knowing on a Wednesday that there's just there and they're regular and there's always a huddle, even when I'm not. But I wondered if there will be any more occasional Sunday huddles or...
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Or other day huddles.
Yeah,
I
think.
Go ahead.
What were you going to say, Leela? No. We can probably carry on with the Wednesday, but also have varying other huddles, because I really would like to be able to welcome people who can't make the Wednesday calls. So we probably do both.
And what time is it in Australia? I don't know. It's
an awful time in Australia at the moment. This catches sort of Europe and America quite well, this particular time slot, but Australia, no, it's not very nice for them. So
now it's 4 o'clock in the morning in Canberra, for example.
What time is it where you are, Andrea?
It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
It's not all that different from Europe.
That's so
really.
strange. But it's
because
summer.
We
That's
don't
so
change
strange.
in summer. No, we don't change the time in summer. So when you do change, we get closer. I don't know how it works, but I know it's almost 5 o'clock. 3 or 4 hours. It's not that different.
Amazing.
Good. For you, it's 10 o'clock? No. 10 p.m.
About 8.
In Europe. 8. Okay. 3 hours.
That's all. Wow, I could go somewhere and it would be summer in only a 3-hour difference. So anyway, yes. Sorry, I got
14-hour flight. 14-hour flight and 3-hour difference.
So shall we segue into the hot seat?
Yes.
I just want to say something.
Yes.
Because I was not able to say anything because I was bringing my toddler to sleep and I was hearing everything and I was like, yeah, I'm here, but I can't talk. So the question before was about what was that? Something about why you find it so different, right? The huddles here. I just want to say that it's a place, at least for me, it's a place to get real, as well. To be able to be everything you want, to put all the ideas that you want, to explore everything you want, but also to get real, and you are able to be vulnerable as you can. So some of you know, I had a kind of a breakdown or breakthrough after that, but it's the exact place for that, because it's such a safe space. And I just want to say, I'm so incredibly grateful. I always tell Jan, I'm also treasuring Synergy so much, because you can't be in this presentation in other places. It's really, you can count it with your fingers, and it's a lot. So I just kind of want to underline that even more, because it's if anyone thinks in joining why this is so different, it definitely is a place where you can get real. And you can get wild with your dreams, and also get straightforward into your realness, in the kind of, okay, but exactly what you are here for. And so there's plenty of strong women, there's plenty of colorful women, there's plenty of absolutely authentic women. And I absolutely love this. It's a place that I would, even though sometimes I can't be here because of my daughter, but I click every single week, and I connect to Jan, and she knows about that, and I, finding just incredibly, yeah, a kind of really beautiful part of my life. So yeah, and just to see your faces every week, or even if it's recorded, but I know it's a different energy. So yeah, so I just want to say that. And why I'm here today, just because Jan said, if you're not here, you're going to have problems. So no, you know, it's really amazing. I mean, the energy here is just different and unique, and it's a beautiful continuation for influencers that really want to have their truth voice in you know, it's no fake of anything, and that's why the groups are going to come and are going to be next year. I feel that it's going to be really amazing as well.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you, Eve. Thank you.
Yep.
Kate?
Just before we segue, I think, Jan, it's important to note, just picking up on just the last point that Eve made, is that you've just made not just some difference. I think you are all the difference in terms of just celebrating you, the work that's gone into this. I think there isn't one person that isn't here today just to say, Jan, we're behind you. We know it's going to involve, we know it's a field of synergy, but it wouldn't be where it is without your creativity process, your amazing skills, and the way you can dream. As you said, you've got lots of ideas for the future, and I think we're all waiting to hear them. But I really think we need to just take a moment and really presence everything that you have made Synergy what it is, and we're just right along here supporting you.
You're here.
Oh, thank you so much, Kate. That's really, really lovely of you. Thank you. And I really receive that very gratefully, and I'll receive it again when I watch the recording. And I also want to say, you know, Synergy isn't something that one person could do. It immediately became the sum of the parts, and that's what I really love about it as well. Because I didn't want to do something on my own. I've been fiddling with things on my own for years, and dreaming of some kind of collaborative type project. So now this is a dream come true for me, and I had no idea that that's what was going to happen. You know, when I said, oh, I'll create a directory, I didn't know it was going to become this, and I am really deeply grateful for that.
And that's the mystery and the magic, and that's you helping us fulfill all our dreams. So it is truly a synergetic process. Yeah, it's really great. Really great.
It's lovely. Thank you. Thank you. So we will go into the heart seat. We're going to have Maya, and we'll hear from her in a moment as to what she'd like our help with. So